Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one, the only, the Azothan, joined and hosted today by WTiiWarcraft. If you haven't, please check out his channel. And we are going to be wrapping up this week the co-op campaign. Finally, we're going to hop into the human campaign and then the undead. And I have no doubt we're going to mess up quite a few times. So here we go, guys.
Hey, how's it going, Azothan?
Pretty good. How you doing, buddy?
Very good indeed. This is an awesome level. I think a lot of people have fondness towards this level. It's difficult, no doubt about it. You get ganked by undead a lot in this, I think, don't you?
I believe. Oh, it's I think it's part 2. You know, after we've set up our bases in this original part, we cleared out all the creeps, and then it goes, "Oh, the undead are here," and then they set up like 5 bases around us.
That's it.
Episode 1's kind of the lure. You know, it's the Chris Hansen before the, "Hey, why don't you sit down a minute?" It's the worst.
That is quite good though, how they sort of branch it off into 2 different maps or 2 different episodes. I really like this map though.
I agree with you.
Naga, you get to play around with them because it's the Frozen Throne.
Oh,
we're sort of like submerging Naga, moving them, having good
Now,
times.
I had heard some rumors recently that they were considering bringing the Naga back as more of a race. Like Blizzard was going to be doing some work on that, or am I imagining that? Have you heard?
Bring the Naga back. We want the
Like
Naga. How about we give each race the Naga Royal Guard? Is that good enough? It could be a tier 3 unit. So the humans would get out of their Griffin Aviary and it can fly. The undead would get out of the Boneyard and it can fly. The orcs will get out of the Tauren Totem, but it can't fly. Seems
Perfect.
good.
And you want to know, even as brokenly OP as that sounds? Oh wait, what is this? Oh, do we really just
I think that looks like
control?
it. So this is going to be slightly different. Okay, this is going to be... What do you want to do? You can do like the hero and I do the units, or what, or vice versa.
Yeah, I don't mind doing the... Let's
Unless we
be
do
honest
like...
here. Woody, you should choose because I will probably do a worse job regardless of that.
That's alright. You take the hero
Amazing.
and that spellbreaker. I'll take that and the 2 priests.
Thank you. My God.
Alright,
Now,
so in previous
quick bet here.
versions, well, this is done by who was it?
This one was done by, let me open that up. It's Killmat on
That's the one.
hiveworkshop.com. If anyone's wondering, there will be a link in the description to the download link. Now, do I have to do anything in Starcamp Observatory, or are we just...
It's been so long, I always forget basically how the campaign levels work. So in the quest it says find and repair the observatory. It's 0 out of 3 repaired. So we got to find basically another couple of observatories and I guess repair them. So look for fat loot like you're doing there, actually hitting the chests. Okay. I don't have Dispel. It'd be cool if it just instantly got rid of all of these.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm actually turning on my health bars right now just so we can have some kind of an attempt at micromanagement
They
here.
should always
So,
be on.
I'm remembering right now, I was just at putting Flame Strike in, how cool this hero was the first time they rolled it out. Getting to play the Frozen Throne and this campaign was super, super cool. Just because they had added all these new heroes, it was like almost a brand new game as far as I could tell. They had rebalanced it.
Well, each of the new heroes brought so much to the game, which is basically why it was fantastic that they also kept adding to the tavern heroes, and they gave us, you know, that much more. And unfortunately, it stopped. But you imagine the amount of depth this game can have just by adding an extra hero, you know, every now and then. It completely changes up how they all interact with one another. Like the Blood Mage, like you just mentioned, for example, there. One of the things I really liked about the Blood Mage was the fact that he can siphon mana in between himself and other heroes. So he can transfer mana from enemy heroes and give them to his allies, which just makes him so freaking cool. Like,
Now, a lot of people surprisingly don't use that. Sorry, I was grabbing your foot then. Put them in there. My bad.
hey, I gave you yours. Which one have you got then?
keep-
Which move it. Give it a wiggle. Which one you taking? If you're using
Oh no,
it.
it's good. I trust you with these tiny little men. I like my Spellbreaker and my hero. I think that's well within my wheelhouse of comfort. But no, yeah, and very few people used Siphon Mana to do that, hell, I didn't even know that you could use siphon mana as an additive to your army. I thought it was just offensive in, draining it. I never
used to
even
be.
knew that you could use it until I was 2 or 3 years into the expansion. How embarrassing.
Nah,
But
I
it was
mean,
one of the
it's-
things I've always liked about this game, was the little unknown interactions.
At the start, it used to. I don't know when it got changed, but at the start, it used to be that you could only take away mana from the enemy.
Really? Okay, so then I
Yeah.
don't feel as bad now.
No, that's it. But afterwards, they thought this would be cool actually if we make it so that you can actually give that mana to your own heroes, so you can beast up a Mountain King and allow him to Stormbolt that many more times. Just adds that extra layer of depth.
Ooh, yep.
That Spellbreaker. I should put a priest on him,
I'm
shouldn't I?
always impressed with the amount of math that will go into it. They're like, if I'm level 2, I'll have just enough, mana to throw a Stormbolt when I do this, and it's like calculated down to a science.
I don't
You're
know
aware
whether
of
we
that.
need wood, by the way. I guess we might get it from... Oh, sorry, I wasn't... That was close.
You're good.
I was just looking at the observatory because the peasants stopped repairing. So I don't know if we need wood for him to continue repairing or not.
Yeah, I tried repairing it. It says not enough lumber. Oh, not enough lumber. Name of my sex tape. Boom. That's
Damn.
it. Self-burn. Those are rare. High five. Let's go.
Oh. Well, do we want to pull that group? Because there's an orange circle to the left of it. A hidden cache that could be more lumber.
Oh. Ooh. To the left of it? Or to the...
Yeah, I don't know if you can get to it, but maybe. Yeah, or maybe.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Oops.
Give the mage a tickle. That's it.
I'm not even gonna tickle him. I'm just gonna call him fat. Oh, nope, I tickled him. I tickled the wrong tickle.
So...
I was also... I was
People
thinking
might
the
be
other day
wondering
that-
why we have like all got the same units. It's because this technically isn't the same two-player campaign, but we can treat it as such because this is Archon mode. And I guess what Archon mode does is it just allows both players to control everything, and I assume it's going to go that way for every level then. If it's doing it for this level, why would it stop there? But in previous two-player campaigns that we've done, episodes, obviously you've had a handful of units, I've had a handful of units, or we've both had separate bases. And yeah, that's definitely been a bit
Which
more
I'm
tricky.
actually wondering if this might be a little bit better, because this will totally, like, let's be honest how you use me as your stay-at-home wife, Witty. I am your stay-at-base wife, and you run around the world gallivanting and, having sex with and killing strange creatures. So this would be more advantageous for that, because I can actually take care of the base without us having to switch units or pass them off to each other. So this could be a little bit better.
I go out killing the pigs and bringing home the bacon. So I do my bit.
Yeah. I was told to flame strike the trees up north here.
Were you? Oh no, we got
yeah.
some backseat gamers, have we?
We do have some backseat gamers. Wait, ooh, okay.
I'm gonna be clicking on
these
that
ones
rat
right
seeing
here.
if I can explode it, but I don't think it'll work because it's multiplayer.
The saddest thing. When did you discover that? I was a Warcraft 2 baby who was lucky
Yeah,
enough to-
it was back then. The bar ran you and all that.
Oh, by the way, Witty, I wanted to ask you, what were you doing playing Dark Souls 2, and how into the Dark Souls series are you?
I've played Dark Souls 1 probably 3 times, and now I've beaten Dark Souls 2 twice, although that time that I've done recently I went into much more depth because I had the DLC, so I just went crazy and did all of it. It took me 52 hours, got to like level 199. Yeah, I got carried away with it, and people don't like that one so much, but I still enjoy Dark Souls, all of them, for what they bring to the table, and it's mostly because I'm OCD, and also because I planned to do Dark Souls 3, but then I was like, oh, I don't feel like I completed or gave Dark Souls 2 the proper go, so... Oh, wow, you found a nice cozy beach. We can go put our feet up. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to moving on to Dark Souls 3 as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am a massive fan of Dark Souls 3 with easily over 1,000 hours into that game.
Wow.
If you ever want just a phantom for a boss, dude, pull me in. I would find just being there for your journey. I will watch that if you do it for the channel. That is my favorite game of all time.
I'll have to consider it then. I
Yeah.
never really
I'm s-
normally use the phantoms because I try to do it without them. Although there's some areas where it's clearly designed for like 2 players, not so much 1. Because you can notice when the
Oh, yeah.
difficulty ramps right up, and you see a bunch of these phantom marks on the floor, and you go, "Yeah, that makes sense." I've died quite a lot of times here. I figure that makes sense. Man, we are struggling to finish even one observatory here.
Yeah,
Very
sorry
wood
about
heavy,
that,
aren't
ladies
they?
and gentlemen. This will be a journey.
Look at that.
Don't view this as a rush to the finish line. Instead, view this as a slow march to victory. Don't worry about it. Witty and I are here to guide you through this troublesome time.
Oh my. Where'd you get the
I
mic
thought
to
it would
change
be
your
super.
voice like that, Azothan? How much that one cost you?
I just put it really close and tried not to breathe.
Ah, good trick.
Thank you. That's what she said. Ooh, finally, I'm Fountain of Hell Mana. Now we can actually move on just a little bit quicker. My use of Flame Strike is atrocious, but my ability to stand next to immobile objects is unparalleled.
Yes, the Fountain of Mana. Such a good neutral build in that one. Get so much out of that. I mean, my priest will be happy too. Get some.
Would you rather see a Fountain of Health or Fountain of Mana?
Fountain of Mana? Because we've got heals. If we don't have heals, Fountain of Health trumps it in my opinion. Unless you've got high level heroes. Because spells in this game count for so much. So if you've got high level heroes with powerful spells, that will probably pull more weight than, you know, some health regeneration. But at this stage, the mana regeneration is actually probably more important because it gives you more flame strikes and ways to sort of push forward.
Yeah, you know, I think it comes to one of the major misunderstandings that I had about Warcraft as a whole was that it was way more about the heroes and the mana and the spells than it was about the units. And that was a huge adjustment for me to make because I kept thinking, oh, it's like Warcraft 2, it's an RTS, right? Can't treat it like that. This is a wildly different game.
Very much so.
Which I love.
Very clever.
But still.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. This, I don't know if you want to pull them quite far back and then basically fight them where your blood mage is standing. Like just a bit before that. That's where they will be standing. Put them in the choke point.
Sweet.
On with it.
I can. Give me a bastion.
What ails I thirst
And. Oh. There we go.
blood elves.
Do it nicely.
Be quick. Time is mana. Very clever. Watch and learn.
No!
Leave it to
You trying to get this around?
Yeah, I wanted it.
I'll handle it.
There's always some little gap.
Easily done. What ails you? The blood elves away.
That's nice. I mean, that was another cool thing about the, you know, the addition of Blood Mage and the Spellbreakers is that he also coincided with his units. I think they did that a bit more with the races as well. They kind of knew where each race stood and they knew how to amplify them. So Flame Strike doesn't hurt Spellbreakers because they're magic immune.
Yes. Spellbreakers being immune to magic was something. I didn't like it because I kept trying to play around with it and then I would realize, I can't heal them because Paladin was my favorite hero early on, and I goes, oh, this is perfect. And I thought, wait, they're immune to their own heals, and I had to have a moment where I went, well, I guess that's fair. It would be really OP if not. But didn't they
Spellbreakers?
change it eventually so that they can be healed?
I can't remember if it was ever changed or not. I've just always remembered it being that way, but I don't remember very much. I've got a memory of a goldfish, really. It's pretty bad.
Oh. Come on, Witty, don't insult the goldfish. Also, hello, Relinquish from the past. Thank you for following.
Easily done.
Witty, I've discovered things like add-ons and things that tell me when people subscribe. It's magical.
Yes, my friend.
The wonders of Twitch.
What
I know, right? It's like I'm a real streamer. Now that air escaped my body. Ooh, can we snag that?
I was
water
thinking
whistle?
that, yeah.
Too much health.
on with it.
Now I can.
Oh no. Not the footman.
Definitely packing a punch, these ones.
And if I'm right, was it not Frozen Throne where they officially changed how heavy armor interacted with things? Like they added magic
yeah.
damage?
Yeah, it was. I think it's because back in Reign of Chaos, the armor types made it so that people just massed one unit. It's not necessarily that different now, but it used to be like Shaman only for Orc and Dryads only for Night Elf. but with, you know, units being moved to heavy armor, I don't know whether that was necessarily a good move for the Tauren. You know, the heavy ground units never had a great time in this game. Like, back in Reign of Chaos, they used to get beaten by mass archers. Like, mass Tauren would get beaten by mass archers, because piercing damage won. And now, air beats them. So, if you have mass frostworms or mass griffins, you can slice through Tauren like butter. So,
this is going to sound kind of weenie, but you want to head back to that Fountain of Mana and heal up for a bit?
I think it might be needed, actually. Yeah, you're right.
It's crazy.
If you could just pull that Rune of Lesser Resurrection down, we can, you know, we can res that footman. Just glitch it down somehow.
Do you want to kill all of our units manually and then just resurrect them? What a weird doctor that would be. It's like, shh, don't worry. You'll be right back.
Well, I need some faith. Hey,
breaks your neck.
You know, not to spoil too much, but do you ever play Soma? There's something similar to that.
No.
Okay.
What is Soma?
It's a horror game. It was created by the same people that did Amnesia.
Yes, I do know the basic premise of it. It's the machine's consciousness thing. I'm not trying to give away too much spoilers here.
Yeah, it's good stuff. That's Soma. Like, it's story driven and pretty damn scary as well, but not as scary as Amnesia. That was the number one. I still have the Penumbra series to go through. I got those, but I never actually got around to playing them. They might be a bit too old now to find too scary, although I don't find most things too scary.
No, most things don't scare me, especially... Here's the thing, and maybe some people will get this, but if I can fight it, I'm not scared of it. If the Dead Space series doesn't scare me because everything that comes at you can't shoot. Yes, it pops out at you, but you can kill it. Same with Doom. But Amnesia or anything like The Ring, The Grudge, basically ghosts and things that are just fucking with you because they know they can get away with it. It's so infuriating, and it taps this primal fear where I'm like, I'm a rat in a cage sort of situation.
Yeah, it's the feeling of helplessness. It makes it more real, doesn't it?
Exactly. Outlast capitalized that on well. I think Outlast was the real spiritual successor to Amnesia.
You think so? I found a couple of a bit scary at the start, and then it kind of waned off for me after a while. Particularly, mostly once one of the bosses chased me around a few rooms approximately about 12 times, it started to lose its effect. Because I couldn't work out how to get to the next stage, so I just had to keep running around the place that I was familiar with. Until eventually I worked it out. So once you see like the boss chase after you, like, yeah, that many times, yeah, it loses its effect.
It was like the first time I watched somebody glitch out one of the ghouls in Amnesia, and it was just kind of like, it was just walking in front of him, glitched out, and it wasn't damaging him, and it wasn't going insane. And I went, oh well, that is kind of goofy looking. Now that you give me a moment,
yeah, when they just stand
terrified. There. Yeah.
Hey, you not got any backseat gamers telling you about the bottom right?
Yes. Let's see. Pretty sure Sonoris. No, I don't have too many backseat. Do you? Let's go check out bottom right.
I'm your backseat gamer in this case.
Ooh, never mind.
Yeah, I can see why this is split up into two parts now, this map. It'll be a lot to deal with. You have to do this and then defend versus the undead afterwards. Or at least the mass undead that come.
What do you need? Be quick.
Right, can you imagine not having a save point halfway through doing this the first time and then dying and going, well, but I did... Oh. No.
What's up?
And so this is where they want us to go?
Well, I actually missed that part. I was actually thinking more about the giant orange circle just behind the trees with the glowing blue runes.
Get on with it.
Oh, I see both. Okay. Also, I am happy. Welcome. Thank you for following. I really appreciate it, bud. Welcome to the channel. We are doing the co-op campaign. For those of you who might be joining either stream, co-op campaign. It's this really fun way for us to play through the Frozen Throne campaign and also just be frustrated with each other and share awkward stories. Really
right.
More than anything else.
Look at all that gold. 983. 1,000. Broke the bank.
It's our 1,000th goal.
Where's the wood?
Yes, me lord.
Right here, baby.
This is just like a melee game. This is reminding me of a melee game now. There's never enough wood.
The blood elves.
I think I said that earlier. I mean, it does bug me a lot. It is definitely the crotch of many melee games.
My bad.
That's alright. Footmen are mostly expendable anyway, so I don't get too hurt.
Sir.
Well, they're
You
the first
cannot
units to
just
come
treat
out,
it
you know. I think even they get it.
Second
If they're looking at their other brethren and going, hey, this guy costs 215 gold, you get him at tier 2, this guy costs 245 gold, he's at tier 3. How much do I cost? 135 gold and you get me right at the start? Ah. Then they don't feel so special anymore, do they? I mean, I don't know if they realised it. A bit like Santa Claus, but you know, whether it's kicked in for them.
Have you ever actually had a strategy you used in a 4v4 RT that rotated or revolved around footmen? Just like the exclusively footman build almost?
Kinda. We did do like a 12, I think it was a 6 versus 6 quite a long time ago. It's not in 4v4, but it was a 6v6, and it was basically, I think it was Paladin and Footman versus Death Knight and Ghouls. So 6 players were human going Footman, and 6 players were going Ghouls with Death Knight.
I foresee Ghouls winning out late game upgrades. Well, how did that play out?
I think it worked in the humans' advantage because they just massed towers. I don't think I banned towers at the time. So it was more about sort of pushing
were you allowed
and
to have
then
heroes?
putting towers to go with that push. And the Paladins are actually stronger than a Death Knight. Technically. Because that's the only race that Paladin's actually good against is undead. Because you can offensively use his
Right.
Holy Light. And it's quicker and it costs less than Death Coil.
I always did enjoy Holy Light having just a little bit more utility generally as a healing spell than Death Knight did. But it was thematically appropriate that it be more effective, I guess. It was just you were less of a team player as the undead, I felt, if you had a Death Knight rather than a Paladin.
Those teal ones are the Naga Royal Guard, aren't they? Or are they the
Man, Naga
Mermaids?
Myrmidon's in the back and the ones on front of the Royal. Yeah.
Well, there you go. We can beat the rest of the campaign now with just those two.
What do they have? A summon, a wave effect, and a bash?
Basically, yeah. Summon Water Elemental, Crushing Wave, the Bash. I thought they had another ability on top of that. I'm not 100% sure what it is, though.
See, based on your Naga love I'm hearing right now, what I think needs to happen is we're not going to play Azeroth Wars ever again because that didn't work, but we're going to play Kalimdor the Aftermath one day, and you'll have to play the Naga. I can tell it's in your bones.
Play it for 15 minutes, maybe. Can we speed run it?
Yes, we can speedrun it. Totally.
Okay.
Oh crap, here we go. That was totally worth the 11 gold. Let's do this.
We still haven't even got
Do you have a
one
preference for
arcane.
base setups here?
Probably close to the trees, I would have thought.
Oh,
That's alright, don't worry about it. Oh!
oh wait. No, hold on. Did I just witty?
I think you did.
No! Did I?
Is there anywhere we can find a peasant?
Hey everyone, we're gonna be right back, bro. Fuck, is there no way? Did I just best that? Oh no, witty.
The blood elves await. Leave it to me.
I'm not sure how you come back from that unless you can find a peasant. Well, hang on a sec. We've got a peasant in base.
Do we?
Yeah, it could be slow, but I can pull him over to the shore. And then
But are we gonna have?
we'd have to get him
does
to
he
build
have
a
the
lumber
lumber
mill.
necessary to build a main base?
Need a lumber mill. Or if we find enough lumber around the map, we can just go straight for the town hall.
Okay, Winnie, let's go looking. Getting in a boat.
So do you want to create the island or go down to the bottom?
Screw it. I mean, there might be some here. I was thinking maybe the caches would have lumber in them more likely than anything else.
Oh
You know,
yes, the caches
orange
definitely will.
Yeah.
Yes, my time is mana.
There's
People
no
in my
going
whole
back from
chat's pulling up.
cancelling that, is there?
I thirst for magic.
It's the single worst mistake I've ever made on this two-player campaign, and it's a long list, but that's got to be at the top.
I think our hardest level for the two-player campaigns was probably that Night Elf one where I think I had Malfurion, you had Tyrande, and we had to sort of push from left to right, and you have to rescue Maev. And then
That was
once you
a
do
real
that,
bad
her base is then getting attacked, and you've got Illidan and Naga Sea Bitch to deal with. It gets well and truly out of control. So there's another Arcane, but I guess we're not going to worry about them.
No, those require lumber.
Very
Okay, peasants coming in.
Okay. We're good. Don't worry, everyone.
Because we can still explore the map whilst we're going. I mean, what's the actual quest? It's just repair, isn't it?
Yeah,
Find
worst
the
case
caches.
scenario, you put down a lumber mill right now, and he just starts, harvesting, and we will eventually have enough for a town hall. It's just,
I'm a
take
little bit
minute
worried
while we
about
explore.
one of these things procking like a cinematic or an event, which means that our base will start getting attacked, if you know what I mean.
what ails
But I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I think going off the island's probably the biggest risk of that.
Say the word. Is my aim. Yes, mighty.
Damn high priests.
Time is mana.
That's mana. Free mana to you.
The blood elves.
It really is. Oh, nope.
On with it.
He's all out of mana. He's tapped. He can't take anymore.
Do you think the troll huts give anything good?
You know what? The important question is not do they give anything good. The important question is have I screwed up enough to allow us the time to find out if they do? And both answers are yes. Let's find out what's in there.
Arena mana, arena healing. Scar of the Beast.
Oh, that was another big revelation for me. I don't know if I ever told you, was the idea that I could shift queue up orders. Once I realized that it changed this game completely.
Thirst for magic.
It's hard to live without that.
Very.
Like, if you play the original Warcraft, you can't do that.
Get on with it.
I'm gonna leave the Rune of Mana since we're not under any important pressure right now.
I thirst for magic.
What do you think? Any of these scrolls worth buying right now?
We got gold, but I wouldn't worry about any of those scrolls. Invisibility might be an interesting item if you wanted to sort of explore and couldn't get to certain places. So at least pick one of those up. You might find yourself in that circumstance. Invulnerability is always great, but you might find an item anyway. So have the inventory spot free, I'd say.
We should move.
It's
Yes.
another OCD thing. It triggers me if we don't have... like, if you get a full inventory and then you find an item, and it's just like, ah, I want to have to run back to the shop. I don't really want to have to destroy all of these items. And it forces you to make a choice. I don't like making choices. I want everything to be very linear and easy.
Watch and learn.
Yeah, wait, why are you playing Dark Souls then?
Watch and learn.
Well, at least with Dark Souls, it's linear in the sense that I can basically complete the entire game with a giant two-hand mace. High Rise didn't
Well,
like
I mean,
that,
you're
though.
not wrong.
I run
But
around with
Dark
basically
Souls
the same
2
weapon.
Specifically, I felt like Dark Souls 2, if I hadn't looked up a walkthrough, I would have
Watch
had to
and learn.
give up
Is my
completely.
aim required? Be quick.
It was very esoteric the way some of those levels led into each other.
Yeah, no, I mean, towards the end, I agree. Like, I got basically so many bonfires and that I missed. So basically, I just had to use the wiki that they had.
The blood elves.
And slowly, bit by bit, work out all the areas that I haven't been to and say, oh yeah, you need to just take a left down this tunnel and then go up the invisible ladder. Oh, alright, that's why I didn't find the frickin' thing.
Yeah, there was one specific bonfire in Aldia's Keep that it was like, yeah, it's halfway down a staircase and you hit a wall. And I just thought, why the fuck would I ever do that? Why would I ever click on a wall halfway down a staircase?
I
You
guess
guys
they
suck.
just, they know. In the long run, like coming back to it now, there's tons of markings and stuff like that for me. So players give you clues, but at the same time, players troll you
Leave it to me.
all the time. So it's the fun part
yeah.
of trying to
Try
work out between
jumping.
the troll.
Easily
Yeah,
watch
and get to all those places that you shouldn't really be able to get to,
very clever.
and then have the tendency to try to jump off. I got 130 wood.
So we have a couple options. Down
On
here,
with it.
through the ogres.
Wait.
Up here, there's a secondary base and some free
Be quick.
creeps. And then
Mana.
our last stash. But I think it's interacting with this undead base that'll spawn the cinematic. I think it's killing that
Be quick.
will make it so that we get attacked more aggressively.
All right,
Hopefully my chat will tell me if I'm wrong
I'll
though.
handle it.
they'll tell you.
Hmm.
That's
People are
what
mentioning
that's
this.
what Twitch chat is for, telling you when you're wrong.
I
Exactly. People are in the chat saying it's funny that you were like, can we speedrun something? And then immediately after I can speedrun, I cancel the town hall and put us into this.
Watch and learn.
Yeah, as fast as possible. That's our specialty.
Time is mana. Is someone in
Ah, my priest. They get no love. They were following the blood mage. Yeah, thank you, Ethereum's telling me.
What's your first? Well,
the blood elves await?
my first playthrough on any Dark Souls game is, of course, a heavy boy. What's yours?
What's that? What do you mean? Like armor set or?
Yeah, but it's like big shield, strength based, lots of vitality and health. Not really going for damage, just making sure you can survive those combos and learn. Oh my God, learn.
I'll handle it.
He's a moss-covered granite golem. Speaking of Dark Souls.
Yeah, do you think we can kill it, or can I? It's really strong.
Yeah, we need the priests.
Okay.
He is a little strong though, isn't he? Yeah, I don't know if we have damage.
Get on with
He's
it.
1500 health. Let's get healed up first and then see. Now, I've always played with minimal armor and just a big old weapon. Basically every single time. It's just my preferred playstyle. I mean, I sometimes do one-handed shield. I preferred in Dark Souls 1 because it was easier to parry and there was more stuff you could parry. Dark Souls 2, I started off like, oh, I'm going to parry everything. And it just, like, it wasn't worth it. It really wasn't worth the effort of trying to parry at all. So I don't know if it's easier in Dark Souls 3 or not, but that's what made me switch to the massive two-hand club and just go around smacking things. I like to move fast as well. So I don't like being encumbered. So,
ooh, well, there are going to be a lot of bonuses. I think Flynn's Ring is a thing that exists throughout the series, right? Increases your damage the lower your equip load is.
Sounds familiar.
That's a ring, and yeah, Dark Souls 3's got some really nice daggers, and weapon arts, I think, are what really changed the game. The L2s being turned into something specific for every weapon class and boss weapon have really expanded the combat options and the feel of the uniqueness between builds. I'm pulling him, by the way. Oh,
that's fine.
You stunny little bastard.
You have to do it again quickly before his cooldowns off.
Easily done.
Come on, yeah.
Watch and learn. Is my aid required? I'll handle it. What ails you? Get on with it.
See if we can get around.
Leave it to me.
We're just waiting for that slam. There it is. Slam one down.
What ails you? Is someone injured? Of course.
Yeah, you're not gonna make it out.
On my way.
God, your ability to micro confidently like that just makes me want to poop myself sometimes. It's so stressful. You're just relaxed, like, oh yeah, no, he can get down to 5 health. That's fine.
Wait for it. Wait for
Wait,
it.
you should play poker.
Oh no, I'll be bad at it. I think. I don't actually know how to play poker. I got that Steam game ages ago with the comical characters, Poker Night or something like that, but I never actually played it.
Oh,
So I
I'm
never
not
learned.
even sure I've heard of that before. So it was like a poker game with lots of weird characters.
Yeah, but you know, Sam and Max and a bunch of Valve characters and stuff like that. You know, from video games.
Blood elves await.
Yeah, I never played any of the Sam and Max games. Was that in your wheelhouse?
The blood elves.
Man, I loved that. I played it as a kid. I found it so freaking funny. I don't know if I'd find it hilarious now, but it's very quirky, very silly sense of humor, and it really was, you know, fantastic at the time.
The blood elves.
Not
Are we
sure how it
talking
holds up now,
sort
though.
of
but-
Leisure Suit Larry or a different brand of humor?
I'm just out of curiosity, there's nothing else down there, is there? Oh,
The blood elves.
I mean, let me check. It couldn't hurt to throw a flame there.
just out of curiosity. I don't think there is. It's not like a, oh, there's definitely something there.
What ails?
I never played
No, but-
Leisure Suit Larry, but I was well aware of it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. If nothing else, your parents said, "Don't ever play this game."
We're
Or
probably trying not to
along the
mention it
lines.
at all.
What, Wiggy? You weren't curious about the human form?
Oh yeah, I was. I got a fairly funny story. My dad's mate, he used to bring his PC over to, because
Yeah.
my dad fixes PCs and stuff like that. He sometimes have problems with it, and he'd have certain programs on there. And I went on that PC, and there was actually it's a blackjack game
Is my
or something like
Oh.
that. And every time you get it right, the lady takes off
very clever.
some more clothing.
Easily
And I was determined to beat this game before they got home. I couldn't do it though, which is a shame.
is someone
But you know,
That's That's kind of a little bit funny. It reminds me of. Did you ever read Board of the Rings?
No, not heard of that.
Get on
Board of the Rings was this weird satirical version they did of Lord of the Rings, and it's small. It's only, I would say, about 200, 250 pages. But the opening sequence, you know how books used to give you a little teaser, half a chapter sort of thing, get you pulled in. And this one for Board of the Rings was it was an elf lady seducing the Frodo equivalent, and it was,
Oh dear.
it was, it was very descriptive, and it was very for a 12-year-old. Intriguing.
What was it? A child's book or?
No, it was much more of a my father's sort of time. He thought that I might just understand a lot of it, but it was like references in the 60s and 70s that would have made people laugh. But that little sex scene at the very beginning, I tore that book apart 5 or 6 times. Let's be honest, a dozen times trying to find the actual source chapter for that. And years later down the line, my dad and I were talking about it. He goes, "Oh yeah, did you try to look for that?" I went, "Yes, we did." And he went, "Yeah, it doesn't exist. I tried the same thing when I was your age."
That's good.
Like, oh god, little horny boys are the most predictable things in the entire world. We're the worst.
You do what you have to do, though. You need to find out.
Easily done.
Sure.
What else await?
Oh, this is interesting. I'm showing myself. Oh, team resources. That's the tab I need to pay attention to. Okay.
Be quick. Time is mana.
Oh dear.
Incoming.
Someone get on with it.
Oh good. They don't have possession. I just checked. They're not masters.
Be quick.
Thank God.
Time is mana.
That would be really mean on the first level.
Get on with it.
They'd take the last peasants
The blood elves.
just before the building gets finished. So we definitely can't complete it. Imagine if that happened.
Although it would have been an interesting way to stress the importance of spellbreakers being magic immune.
I thirst for magic. The blood elves
Alright,
is my aid.
how's our main base doing?
It's coming along, but it's only just really started to get going.
Thirst for magic.
I'll pull them in.
What ails you? The blood elves await.
Don't have much mana on the priests.
Get on
That's
with
okay.
it. Yes, for magic.
I just wanted to see if I could do some damage.
Say the word. Get on.
Oh no, not the spellbreaker! You... Oh god, I'm so bad at remembering that.
Oh, nice. Footman's down there.
Is someone injured?
That
Oh
is hitting
no.
hard.
Witty, we've lost an unit.
Well, we did
I'm pretty
say...
sure we're gonna lose. We should restart.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what's the point, really?
Wow, that attitude. Let's go.
Well, I mean, really? Oh, shit. Banshees.
Let's get some towers there. We go.
What ails
We need to pull back.
I'm down to retreat if you are, though.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
you? Yes, my friend. Get on with it.
Oh, I moved it before the flame strike finished. My bad.
Thirst for magic. Be quick. Time is mana.
Oh, no.
The blood elves.
I thought they would have stopped chasing by that point. Damn.
Ooh.
Fine. So we've still got to repair the
Come back over the wall with
observatories.
you.
I thirst for magic.
Okay, we've got a decent chunk of lumber here. Don't know where to go mass footman, actually. We've got to deal with undead bases. Mostly just because of their defendability being so good versus their annoying towers.
Spirit Towers, Crypt Fiends, basically everything that make the early game undead scary, footmen are a decent counter to. Well,
Bases
what
more or
is
less
your favorite
protected.
early game undead strategy? Because I've been meaning to try playing some like regular RTS, and I wanted a broken strategy to go for. So,
Well, it's
you have any
certainly not
insider
broken.
tips?
It's shite now, but back in Reign of Chaos, one of the most coolest things I ever saw people do was Dreadlord and Ghouls. And what they would do is, it was pretty simplistic, really. They would just run the Dreadlord, and specifically the Ghouls, like, through the army of the enemy, and as the army sort of gets almost past them, press the stop button, and the Ghouls would just go crazy. And people didn't really know how to micro so much back then. So, like, they had their distance from the enemy, and the Ghouls are running up to them like, oh no, you know, the Ghouls are coming up, but we can deal with this. But once the Ghouls basically are surrounding, like, the majority of the units, it's GG.
The blood elves await.
People definitely underestimate Ghouls. That's a nice flame strike.
Thank you. I fully upgraded ghouls with some necromancers to back them up. Daddy, no!
Someone injured.
Daddy,
I think we gotta run.
As you
Yeah, we might
There's
just.
not much living at this point.
Oh well.
I think I
Need
can
to chill
upgrade
out
to
at least
tech.
this cryptine and then I'll join you
is my aid required.
in the land of embarrassment.
Let's tech. Let's get some footmen for.
What ails you?
I'll get some footmen for defense, but otherwise try to get more spellbreakers and priests. Ah, they still keep coming.
We're gonna. I'll claim one of these peasants and start. Oh, he's already got somewhere to keep.
Is someone
Yeah, I'll tower it up just a little bit more. You know what? Aggressive towering on the human part feels like a waste of time. It's always really good.
It's doable on this map if you know the undead's gonna, you know, become very hostile later on. You imagine just cheesing, putting down lines of towers.
Now, I think unfortunately what it does do is.
What, resets everything, does it?
Yeah,
All
I
your
don't
resources
think it
are
remembers our
gone.
base layout. Which I can't blame them for. It would be a little OP if you knew it was coming on playthroughs after. You're like, oh yeah, hold on, let me mine this out completely, build every tower I can, and put cannon towers where I know you're not ziggurats will be.
Class
No,
is
what's the
saying
main
in
undead
chat, by
town
the
hall
way, pocket
Necropolis?
barracks and altar.
Necropolis.
I sense something.
You still got
elusive.
there's a cheeky tiny barracks and a cheeky tiny altar.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
You didn't destroy those ones yet.
Job's done.
Here, let me start them and cancel them again real quick.
Job's done. Righto. Yes, me lord.
There's a part of me that wants to, but we're gonna resist that urge.
More work. What is it?
Wait, why are people asking?
More work.
It-
Job's done.
Oh, my chat was losing their mind trying to figure out if gold was actually synced up. It's maybe a second off when you spend it, and then it shows up on my screen. But okay, we're sharing gold, we're sharing lumber, and it just shows me at permanently 0 food. So it's confusing a few of us. Also, hi Poxar. Finally, people. Oh, by the way, I've seen nothing but people in chat saying, "Thank God we finally decided to finish this." And I couldn't agree more.
Is it just Night Elf? Yeah, which the Orc didn't actually get a campaign. They got the bonus campaign, didn't they? TFT.
And someone's thinking about working their way to make that also a co-op.
Wow.
Which, how do you think that would go?
I think that'd be pretty damn cool actually, because it's more
I
focused
agree.
on the heroes and some sort of fun quests.
Yes, me lord.
So I think that would be pretty ideal. Oh, get a blacksmith and then what's it called?
All right.
I've played this long enough and I forgot the name. Workshop. There we go. Yeah, that'd be
Right.
very handy for dealing with the undead. Some mortar teams.
Job's done.
See, the computer's got bored.
Oh,
Well, that's not proccing the cinematic yet.
More work.
I think it may not even go for a cinematic. It may just be purely on trigger based.
Yeah, I guess
no!
that's what I mean.
You know
so-
what'll finish it up?
What's that?
This.
Oh, alright. I think
These.
I sent him. Yeah.
Also, yeah, good job sending him up there. I would have completely forgotten.
What is it?
Okay, let's have a look. We can get Arcane Sanctum.
Yusuf saying, Azothan, the Orc campaign and co-op would feel like WoW with friends. Exactly, it would feel a little bit like proto-WoW.
All right.
Which, let's be honest, that's what the Rexark campaign was. It was them testing out the idea of whether or not Warcraft could be turned into an RPG.
Never thought about it that way, but it does make a lot of sense. I know that Warcraft 3 was like the test bed. Isn't like World of War... Oh, here we go.
The observatory has been repaired. Let's move quickly and get to work on the others.
Alright, Cal.
Alright, I'm gonna let you I'm gonna grab refill my water real quick if you want to have control of the...
I'll see if I can
Guys, for
suicide
just
us
2
by the
seconds.
time you come back.
Yeah, exactly. The other B.
Right, let's see if we can get some upgrades.
Everyone be nice to Whitting while I'm gone. I will spank anyone who is rude.
What is it?
I can tech up. I can tech up again. Am I able to get... No, I can't get Griffins. That's a shame. That would have made it a lot easier. Griffins and Dragonhawks. Mash those out like a noob. I think we'll stick with the workshops. And we'll have to move our lumber over here.
Yes, me lord. More lumber.
More lumber is required. Yeah, I've heard that one before. Story of my life.
Job's
Blood elves.
Let's have a look.
Must be
Kale.
Job done.
I'm gonna move.
Honestly, I'm wondering if you get mortar teams.
I think
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm going for. You're back
Yeah,
to gaming me now, are you?
Will it let you?
be quick.
Oh, I can't imagine it just gives you flying machines.
Oh yeah, and look,
don't
it's already
think it
giving
will
us
give you
knights
tanks.
too. It would probably. You're right.
I mean, if it gave us tanks, that'd be perhaps even better. They're pretty broke.
What?
I'll get some armor actually, just in case it does give us tanks. I might just go mass tanks, Azothan, and we can just cheese the computer.
Get on
You
with
just send in everything. Just wait 50 food, about 3,400 gold, and then just press the tank button on all the workshops
Job done.
and wait.
What is it?
I heard cheese,
Ah!
and whether we're talking about the game or food, I'm down.
Tanks. Tanks.
Righto.
what ails you.
We can get tanks.
Yes, my friend.
I'm totally going tanks. I'm going to cheese the hell out of this.
Be quick. On my way.
No!
Is someone get on
Let's have a look.
Okay, I'm back for good. Here we are.
What is it?
Thank you, everyone, for waiting patiently. For those of you who weren't waiting patiently, what I meant to say was fuck you.
what ails get on with it. Say the word. Be quick.
Yes, my lord.
Everyone's patient on the internet.
Oh yeah, people are the coolest on the internet. You know how they never...
Yes, my lord.
Never
Weird.
complain.
All
Yeah,
right.
Never expect anything. Have no sense of entitlement whatsoever. Everyone's just in it together. It's really impressive actually how the community on the internet has just evolved and grown.
It's so healthy. I think that's the most important part. It's supportive, really, of people who want to branch out and try new things. That's my favorite part.
I'm going to be a cheese ball. It does mean waiting a little bit longer, but it's probably worth it just because of how funny it can be. We might want to get the expansion at the top. That'll mean more gold sitting at that underneath 50 food mark. Oh,
Let's do it.
well, yeah, we can go up to 50 food here and not have to worry about income.
Job's done.
To be honest, a few properly placed towers, footmen, and a few priests, we can hold this line forever against anything in the early game Undead is going to send out against us. Oh, there's your... Alright. Do you mind me re-putting the research on...
Thank you there, ASD.
Sorry, I'm going to go ahead and research the upgrades for your mortar teams and siege engines.
What? Why are we getting more teams? We don't need
How
more
dare you
teams.
talk shit
If we have
about
siege
my
engines?
entitlement?
That's right. I'm getting
I see.
told off about entitlement. All we need is siege engines.
All we need is love. Ba, ba, da, da, da.
That's what siege engines
Come
give
on,
everyone.
Witty.
No, I can't sing. I'm not going to do it.
Oh,
Sorry.
lies.
I'll be useless
One of
at a
these days,
karaoke
you're gonna have to
bar.
release a Warcraft Christmas album, and it's just you.
The only
It's
time
beginning
where I
to
sing is
look
like
a
if
lot.
I'm winning or something like that. And I start to sort of like sing the units' names and things like that. Victorious cry. Pre-early victorious cry. If that's the right term. Which it isn't.
I'm just look. Witty Chat can hear me right now. All of you, imagine Witty saying like early morning, and he's like, "It's beginning to look a lot like Ghoul Rush." It would be so sexy in that beautiful British voice, the deep baritone.
There's nothing
Don't
sexier
rule
than
it out.
ghouls. You're gonna be so psyched for these tanks. I'm telling you, man.
You know, again, this is an example of me not knowing what units are good in the game. I used to think steam tanks were the most useless unit in this game.
Not really.
And then I watched your streams, and I thought,
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, there's been some recent games over on my streams, and it's just having a tough time with tanks. Turns out they're pretty good.
Them being used against you?
Yes, it's incredibly stressful. It's one of the they're the most brain dead unit. They require no effort on the person that's attacking, but the person that has to defend has to like scramble and go for. Oh, what the hell are I doing down there? Sky barge.
Wipe dicks!
Wow, just as well I got a human shipyard. Hang on a sec, what happened to my human shipyard? I could have sworn I built one here.
There's one right here.
Yeah, but I
Oh, you mean on the other
built
shore?
one.
I see.
Oh, I don't know.
What is it?
Alright, alright. Are we gonna ignore that sky barge and go for the top expansion here that you've been holding off
Yeah,
on?
you know what? I'm gonna grab my shelf a couple Actually, no.
No.
Do you want to? Oh, do
No
you think
knights
parking
allowed.
the steam barges on the shoreline with the towers might
All
just take out the
food goes
skyboard?
towards tanks.
Okay, never mind. I heard the law get laid down. All food to tanks.
That's it.
What is it?
We can't spare any food to anything else.
Off I go then.
Everything is inferior towards tanks.
Oh man,
I do.
I'm so excited now at the idea of you playing through Dark Souls 3. Have you played Bloodborne?
No, I never will though, because I don't have a console. I never will.
You dirty bit. It's really fun. It's definitely not as good as Dark Souls though. If your favorite thing about Dark Souls is the flexibility in builds and like the minute changes you can make to kind of tweak it to your playstyle, it won't appeal to you. If you enjoy having one really fun way of playing the combat and only that,
Yeah, that sounds like me.
you'll love it.
I'm very simplistic when it comes to my Dark Souls stuff. I just like to explore, and I want to do it in the easiest way possible. Big old two-hand
They
sword
are-
or hammer.
They are beautiful games, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Very obnoxious as well at the same time though.
Yeah, no, you played Dark Souls 2, so I'm sure we're both thinking, what is the gutter? The gutter followed by the
Yeah,
something.
that sucked.
Ugh.
But the gutter did give me the two-hand club, which basically is what I took through basically the majority of the game.
The
I
two-hand
actually
what?
two-hand club.
Really?
Yeah, you get it down at the bottom of the gutter. There's a chest, and lo and behold, you get yourself a big old two-hand club to grab onto.
Damn.
What is it?
I didn't
Well
get to
worth
see
it.
that. Early game I found a Gearm axe or Grim, or I don't know if it's Gearm or Grim, but they're
Gurm.
equivalent of dwarves. And they're so good, but it's such a weird. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to hop on the stupid boat.
Off I go
It's such a
then.
weird, stocky little axe that doesn't have very much range. I
So you see if you
instantly
can do this with
regret
Blood
that.
Mage only.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
I think so.
What
Yes,
is
yes,
it?
yes.
Oh, word.
Especially if it's only me controlling it, because no offense, Woody, but I think your mic it's a little bit weak, buddy. Come on.
Yeah, I see, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been slacking lately. Been working on my macro
I didn't
game.
want to tell you, but oh god, I thought this was gonna be a way more awkward situation. Thank God. You already know you suck. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Everyone in chat right now is taking bets on how long till you team kill me. After this conversation.
I think he team killed us hard enough at the start, to be fair, for the rest of this
Ooh.
level. Destroying that castle.
Hey, we have a thriving economy because of and or maybe despite of my actions.
I can actually lose these footmen, there's more food. I need to lose some peasants as well. We've definitely got enough wood.
Off I go then. What is it?
Let's pull these guys over.
Word. What? Job's done. Yes, my lord. What is it?
Okay, so I guess I'll be the little hero controlling Micah. Oh shit, there's no way I'm killing that
Yes, you are.
I'm gonna need an army here eventually, but we're good for now.
Oh, word. Yes, my lord.
Let's see if we can set up some towers for him. Hopefully this doesn't aggro.
As I was saying earlier, I've put almost 1,000 hours into Dark Souls 3 to the point where I have my most recent build is my final and 10th character I'm allowed to build, and it's a luck-based build just because I went, you know what do I have left? I've done a mage, I've done a pyro, I've done dark, I've done magic, heavy, agility. That game has so many weapons, and if you are a fan of 1 and 2, here's the thing. I'll be interested to hear your opinion on it because a lot of people complain about the game due to the fact that it's a big shout-out. There are so many weapons and armor sets and items that relate almost exclusively to 1 and 2, and it's just a big shout-out, which as a person who started with 3, I didn't understand. I just thought these were... I was seeing them for the first time, but I guess for other people it was a little bit fan...
I feel like the
Service-y.
second one drew a lot from the first one as well, in many ways. Wouldn't surprise me to hear you say that. Dark Souls 3 is basically getting a little bit crazy and yamming on about the previous two.
Yeah.
They toot
And
their own
it feels
horn.
like they justify it a little bit. One of the final areas is sort of like, what if the world was all collapsing together? You know, the ruins of previous civilizations are falling in on each other. So it kind of it acknowledges that, yeah, maybe Dark Souls 1 and 2 and 3 and Demon Souls and even Bloodborne, it looks like it paves the way for people to fantasize about a combined universe.
Yeah, I never got to do Demon Souls either. That would have been nice, but I'm happy.
Are you
with
going to play the Dark
so
Souls
far.
remake?
They're doing it. I
The
didn't even know
HD?
they're doing a remake.
It's coming out on May 20th, buddy, or May 24th. They're doing Dark Souls Remastered.
Great, another excuse to play Dark Souls again. I've already used that
My
up
friend
a
and I
few
were going to
times.
play through it. I would like to extend an invitation now. Consider it. We'd love to have you come with us through the game.
Try it, definitely. I've never really did you know, sort of like well, the summoning stuff. Like I say, we've got pretty big attack and base. I'm hoping the towers are enough, but.
Do you want me to bring the? I'm going to put the hero on the boat just in case and start heading.
You might have to come back on this one. I think someone built too
That's
many
it.
steam tanks.
We're good. I was taking less control of the units up here and being a little bit lazy. I'll get on top of that. I was like, oh, it's Witty. He can micro with 8 people, which literally you have done, and it freaks me out every time you do a 4v4 RT and all your allies leave, and you don't just go, well, fuck my life.
I do it to spite them. I'm angry. Take out my rage. It fuels me.
I find that oddly endearing.
Yes, me lord. Work.
Well, the good news is the tower's done pretty good. I just need to pull him back with a cheeky tap. I don't know if that's... He's going to survive, though.
That's it. I'm dead. Off I go then. Yes, me
Ah,
lord.
they don't aggro. You could have built towers right next to them. Ah, shit. Now they do.
Off I go then. Right.
Oh, he just catapulted his own boys. With a mana root of healing, I'll take 1.
Yes, me lord.
Alright. Now that I've lured out the meat wagon, I'll try to murder him close up. And that should take out a significant... God, so many skeleton warriors. We just feed our own death.
All right.
And can we use the steam tanks? Can they attack units?
No.
Yes, me lord.
What? No?
Work.
Witty, can we destroy the undead base with that real quick? I think we might have enough.
I was
I'll
going to get
go in
more,
with my
but
hero
yeah,
right now with
okay.
you.
Yes, me lord. More
If
work.
there's some point to keeping them alive, don't let me stop you from executing a strategy, but sweet jumping Jehoshaphat.
It's OCD.
Yes, me lord. Work.
Your mom has OCD.
What is it?
Okay, we need more peasants at the top.
Okay, you're just gonna let me hold the note the whole time. It was way less awkward.
So I just concentrating on moving the peasants up to the top and moving the tanks in.
No, it's whatever, Witty. I'm on my way. Clearly, you care more about exterminating the undead menace than you do about random noises that I make. Oh shit! Undead barge. Please don't drop that. Hero support's on the way, and I'm gonna rally a couple footmen. Just a couple.
Work.
No, actually, you'll yell at me if I do that. You're already winning so goddamn hardcore. It's silly.
What is it? Off I go then.
I'll pull them away from you.
Oh, the bash procs are so rude.
Yes, me lord.
The bash procs.
Yes, me lord.
Come on.
Off I
Enough
go
with your
then.
bash procs.
Right. All right.
This guy,
Off I
though.
go then.
A little bit, anyway.
All right.
Our forces
What?
are under attack
All
from
right,
the sea.
There we go. See, the tanks know what to do.
God, that's so dumb. I can see why you'd be upset. So, can they not attack them in melee matches? An up-to-date thing? They just can't attack units?
Off I go then.
No, they can't attack units. Nah, they can attack air though. They can attack up to 9 air units, and they do 25 damage to each one, which doesn't sound like that much,
Gotcha.
but it stacks up really quickly and heavily.
I was gonna say, if you have at least 8 of them, which I'm assuming if you're going for a steam tank strategy, you'll probably have at least 8. If you have at least 8 of them, that's 200 damage per volley to anything in the air. That's devastating.
Our forces are under attack.
That being said, clearly
What?
Well, they can't do much
They
about the
can.
units
Yeah,
right now.
sorry.
They can deal with the rest of the buildings as they're going up. They just need a little bit of help.
Yes, my lord.
Forces are under attack.
Not even sure if you can
I
afford
should have
to
been
do
supporting with footmen the whole time. I'm sending some now. It's a little late, but you've gotten most of this down to the point where I think if we build even a modicum of an army, we're gonna be in a pretty decent spot.
I'm gonna get revenge.
And they seem
on
to be
this guy.
heavy on ranged units and crit fiends, so defend on footmen will be
These bash
surprisingly
bombs.
effective.
He's got such a short. Runs back at the.
Sweet salty Christ.
instant moment. Oh god, it's gonna take forever. Screw this guy. I'm gonna put down another tower here.
What? Righto. Job done.
Aye, my lord.
That'll teach this guy. I'm having so much trouble with this null wall on at the top, honestly.
Yeah, he's pretty terrifying. He's been kicking some butt.
Yeah, it's like almost a guaranteed bash proc every time, so I'm trying to pull him. He's not playing ball.
My bad. Sorry, I didn't mean to do some damage to this. Oh, I lost the hero while I wasn't looking. My bad. Shit, buddy. I'm resing him. No. We can't be. Oh, shit. Buddy?
What's that?
We don't have any more gold.
Did someone build too many tanks?
Yeah, it's entirely possible. There was one too many tanks, man. But it could be on me. Let's not consider it. But there's the possibility we might need to start putting peasants in gold mines and then shipping them back to the mainland to pay for an expansion.
Yeah, I got some more
This is
peasants
such
coming.
East India trade company bullshit we have to engage in right now. I'm so upset.
Let's face it, you knew it was going to come down to this.
I did. You know, it's insulting because they didn't even put an insane mode. This is just considered to be the regular hard mode. So there's something wrong with us.
You're just going about it with alternative strategies, that's all.
Yeah, alternative
Alternative
strats. It's alternative strats.
Well, the computer doesn't like it just as much as us. So,
Welcome to the Trump administration, guys. Alternative facts and alternative strats.
how much does the hero cost then? Oh, it's so shy.
220, 256 or something? Yeah, it's pretty close. The boat that's on its way home has the money to res the hero.
Alright.
I'll do that if you want to keep on the steam tanks in the base. I'll try to focus on getting.
I'll focus on these steam tanks.
Okay. Oh, man, there's a castle. Stop hitting us. Dick.
Maybe kill them with militia. Maybe.
Yes, my lord.
Okay. So I'll res the hero now.
Forces are under attack.
Okay, there we go. Coming round. Swapping.
Ooh, finally.
It's like that battleships game, actually. Where someone can play as, well, you can either choose to sort of like fight down the lane or do trading. And there's always a couple of players that just spend the entire game trading until they got enough gold to just buy the best boat. They go back
Really?
and forth, back and forth. Yeah, Tainted, for example, scumbag. You could just trade. You go in between ports or something like that, and it gives you a certain amount of gold each time. Whereas if you're actually fighting for the lane, you don't really get much gold.
Interesting. Have you ever played a game called Mountain Blade?
What isn't that the one that got awards? Or
Yeah,
Oh,
it's this
wow.
weird little kind of medieval simulator, third person / first person thing. You start out as a single unit on a map that has all these different factions and races and all that stuff, and you can garner favor with them and become a king, or the thing is, you can literally become just a trade prince. buying information about where things are selling for more money here and there, pick it up in the cheapest spot, sell it in the biggest spot, buy yourself a mercenary army, eventually parlay that into like a dukedom. It's just one of the most fun and weird little games. But I thought you might ever get a kick out of it because you seem to have a fantasy.
Oh
bent.
yeah. Well,
just a
I
little
haven't
bit.
actually. I'm still kind of an old school gamer. And most of the time, I'm just playing Age of Empires 2. But I know there's like quite a lot of games that have come out recently, like Kingdom Come Deliverance. I've not played that. I got that. What's it called? Assassin's Creed. And got to play that as well, the Origins one, because I got a code for that when I got this PC.
Kale's up. I'm gonna bring it over. Have you played any of the Assassin's Creed games?
Yes, the first one, and that was it. I
Okay.
think.
And what did you think of it?
I actually quite liked it. It was a little drawn out though in certain places, but generally speaking, I thought it was a cool idea, and it made you sort of hate the people you're going to kill. I would be the filthy.
And that's the only one you've played? Because I heard that the
Yeah.
most recent one sort of made the combat a little more aggressive, to the point where they compared it. Because I heard that in the previous games, that it was possible that you could be completely surrounded by an army of town guards, and they would just attack you one at a time in a sort of a weird duelish way. And now they've made it so, like, yeah, if you aggro 3 or 4 people, you're dead.
No, I mean,
what's
I
your
will get
opinion
around
on
to
that?
playing it at some point. That does sound kind of cool, but it depends what the combat system's like. Is it like the Arcane Asylum? You know, the Batman style one? That was okay, but it's a little bit repetitive. Just
I had to
keep
give
whacking the
Arkham
buttons.
Asylum credit for a decent combat system. A lot like I might not enjoy the God of War games as much, but I do have to acknowledge decent combo and combat system overall.
What? Righto.
If
Okay.
that's your style.
Yes, me lord.
Dunno, I mean,
Yes, me lord.
I guess I'll be alright with it.
The Null Warlord's still causing me trouble.
Yes. Here we go, this is it now. You can't run away from this one.
I'm watching it. Get him! That was the most brutal thing I've ever seen a group of peasants do. Jesus.
Beautiful.
It was dark. I don't know if we can come back from this.
What is it? Yes,
It did what needed to be done there. Look at that. They're getting us the
There are a few
gold.
The gold! Do we have enough to build a lump? Oh, not yet.
Not quite yet. Close. If they don't repair, that would help as well.
Alright, I'll bring the hero over, and pretty soon this should retreat to the point where we can build a base there. But I was gonna say, there's a few games in the world that I really, really wish multiplayer, and one of them is Fallout New Vegas. Ever been lucky enough to play that one?
I've heard of it, yeah. People like that one a lot. I think it's because it's
They
so
do.
massive and there's a lot of depth to it, but I don't know if it'd be a little bit too much for me. Like, a bit too much exploring, bit too much dialogue text and all that kind of stuff. Not sure if I have
I think it
patience
probably
for
would be.
myself. But I think it's cool. I never got into the latest one though, Fallout. I never really actually got into any of the Fallout games to think about it. Just never too
More
worried
of a
about them.
Skyrim guy, or
Oh, I like
what?
Skyrim, yeah. Play the shit out of that. But I don't know if I'd, you know, care for Fallout that much, even though it might still be sort of like a similar thing. In some ways, it might be a bit too similar.
Humanity will
So
rise
I just feel like I'm doing the
It's
same thing that I
about
did with Skyrim,
time.
basically. But with
Never
Fallout.
trust an elf.
It is. The thing that
How
ended up
much
selling me
money
on
would it
Fallout 4
take
was
to get
not
you to
the
play
RPG,
New
it was
Vegas
not
amount and
any
play
of that
on
stuff,
stream?
because let's face it, they've done it better in different games. But Fallout 4 was a decent, and with survival mode, God, that changed the game so much. With survival mode Fallout, it is the best post-apocalyptic survival simulator I could imagine. It makes you feel like, oh my god, do I want to drink this dirty water because I'm gonna get an infection, or I could, and then I'm gonna have to find a place to rest, and you only get to save when you sleep. So it really adds this, like, this, when you go on a mission, you could get killed by a Molotov cocktail at the wrong spot, or a bad grenade. You have to play so carefully, and it adds this tension to it that I didn't experience in the others. It was kind of
You definitely sound like you got a lot out of it, actually.
oh yeah, again, another game I
I
put
don't
easily
know
200
how much
hours
it
into.
costs. I've not really considered it.
That's conservative because I don't want people to know.
Ah! Oh, that's alright. It's just a normal overseer. It's not that big ass one.
No.
I was worried for you then.
Although, I think somewhere like here or here, there's another ginormous creep waiting for us.
Should be trying to stop those towers.
You
can finish
shop
them.
it. Wait, what the?
I was trying to stop the towers actually, so you get the experience. Although I just
if the
realised that's my
towers do it-
mistake, because typically in these custom campaigns and stuff like that, was always. I feel like there was always a slight error with that. Like I don't know, maybe they couldn't work out. If we had more hero levels, that would have been cool.
I agree. Limiting the
'Cause-
hero levels kind of made sense because it enabled them to add more areas without potentially breaking it. I think there might have been more complaints about, or
But it was always kind of
more
disappointing when you
complaints
sort of
about-
like just went up one level and then you were like, oh, okay, I can get another level after this, and it's just like, nope,
More
nope,
work.
that's it.
Yeah.
You're capped for ages. And it felt disappointing, but I suppose
You're
that's
right
just the way
though,
I
but
have to
think
go.
about how long you were capped for. Think about how long you were capped for, and if you had gotten experience while you were doing all of that, it would have been obscene.
You're easy. Right.
You would have been level 10
Off I
on
go then.
map 4.
Right.
Yeah, that's Spires. Having a Phoenix out and level 3 Flame Strike and all that.
Exactly. It might have changed the second level.
All right.
But that being said, we're still on level 1,
Off I go then.
so
Yes,
I
me
can't
lord.
talk the shits.
All right. Off I go then. Righto. Yes, me lord. Righto. More work. Off I go then. Righto.
Come here. No
Off I go
overseer.
then.
Oh,
right.
you know, a funny little thing that my parents noticed we were talking about the other day is
Null
I
Overseers.
said that I didn't like my supervisor at work because they didn't feel like they were leading very much. It felt more like they were just giving weird orders and not really paying attention to what was going on. And I said, it's so weird. I understand that maybe they don't have to be a leader. They're a boss. They're not a leader. But my dad said, you know, supervisor is the same thing as overseer. Like the people who are in the slave fields. If you think about it, and I went, oh my god, that is exactly the same language. It's just like, why did I ever supervisor overseer? It's the same words,
Yes, me lord.
Dark, man.
right? Work.
Well, I think work is just one of those things, though, isn't it? It's like it's all a lot of it is kind of luck-based in terms of sort of like your workplace environment, the people that you're put with. You could be the hardest working person in the world, but if you get a shit, you know, supervisor, like you say, or something like that, you'll never get appreciated. They're always going to be against you. There's nothing you can do to impress them. Or you can be lucky. I know someone like a mate of mine used to like really get along with his boss and stuff like that, and you get to try out these cars and stuff like that because he was a mechanic. You know, drive them around, but just because he got along with the boss. You know, it's just one of those things, man.
One of those little bonuses. It's surprising how much life comes down to being likable as well. My buddy was saying huge, like life-changing money-making deals come down to whether or not you're like, I just don't like that guy. I don't want to do business with him, or you know, I like this person, so I'm going to give them preferential treatment.
Cracker Snatcher saying Azothan agreed to 1v1 him once I am famous in a map of his choosing win conditions because he's the worst player. He didn't call you the worst player, he called himself the worst player.
No. Cracker Snatcher thinks I'm the worst player. He got upset because he wanted to 1v1 me in a stream earlier. We had a disagreement.
What easy?
But this is a gentleman's
Also, I
disagreement.
pulled the wrong things. I apologize. We should probably not make it worse.
Nah, I like it. That's bravery. Level 3
Yeah.
Kale cares not for no gnolls.
Okay, well, if you call it bravery, I call it let's try again.
Forces are under attack.
It's about, oh man, that's it. You have a little bit of practice, you know, it's good fun. And see if you can get off that juicy flame strike. That's one of the tricky things, is pulling them to the right length that they start to go back on themselves, but not entirely. And they get trapped in that kind of flame strike.
Off I go then.
Yep,
It's a glorious thing indeed.
just at the end of their tether.
Our forces are under attack.
Ooh, so they double back on themselves. Okay, I think it's here.
It's definitely close.
No, yeah, a little bit. I could have
Yes,
worked
me
on it.
lord. All right. What is it?
They're
They
pissed.
keep going.
Yeah, more work.
Okay, guys. Okay, I get it. You're
Off I
angry. You're
go
big.
then.
I wonder if running over the fire is what triggered them. To like come back
Oh
again.
yeah.
because they were already running back, and then they sort of came after you again. Look at all that healing, man.
My people must be avenged.
Oh, are we spending money on anything anymore?
Just
didn't
more
check well.
bases, so I can get more steam tanks.
There's no more buildings left on the map, Witty.
Are you sure? Oh yeah. Oh man.
Oh man. Mortar teams
I
might
just
work.
managed
though.
to
At least you
cancel them
won't
in
have
the
wasted
time.
it.
What do you want then? You want knights, or do you want mortars, or spellbreakers, priests? What do you want?
Knights will probably benefit from your 2 defense upgrades, right?
Yeah. Oh, they'll
Yeah,
get something out of
probably.
it.
Probably them then.
They're quick as well.
Job
Oh, you
done.
bastards, come on.
Our forces are under attack.
I mean, they're just trying to enjoy their day.
No.
Just keep poking
What they're
at them.
doing is standing around like a bunch of fucking delinquents in an alleyway.
Okay,
just
yeah,
looking
no, I like
threatening.
that because that's like your interpretation. There's 2 sides to every
Uh-huh.
story.
More work.
So I
Yeah,
just
Witty,
thought they
why
were
do I
like-
get the... Why am I getting a mental image of you in like cross trainers and or... I don't
You
know,
call
like a
me a chav.
tracksuit sitting like a Russian. Or like a
We have-
chav, yeah.
We have a lot of people like that in Britain that do that kind of stuff. They're sort of just hanging around, not getting much
Did you
done.
have a chav phase?
Chav phase? I never really went through it, but I grew up through it. So you'd have like kids in town and they're kicking the football around. No one fucking liked it. But there were so many of them
Of course.
that they couldn't do shit about it. And they would
Yeah,
kick
we-
the football and be super obnoxious, loud, noisy, and they think they're the coolest. They're basically Chaz with the biggest pussies in the world, because they'd have to be in a group of 20 before they could start on you.
Of course, a lot like some of the American gangsters you see around here where they're like, "What's up, bro, you want to go?" And it's like, no, 8 of your buddies.
Yeah, there's like 8 of them behind him. Yeah, you might be confident you got 8 people fucking behind you. And they got no qualms with fucking fighting 8 versus 1. Scumbags.
Exactly. And here, you know what the thing is my biggest concern would be if I fought 8 versus 1. I still think I could take 1 or 2 to the hospital with me if I'm really trying to go all out. But I'm worried that if I hurt them that much, like it's not hospital time anymore. I'm going to the morgue.
That's
They don't fuck around.
Oh yeah, I mean that's it. It all comes down to bumping into the wrong person, doesn't it?
Yes.
I was as a kid like I don't think I was even really in the wrong here, but you get that road rage, and I was driving. I was on the right lane, but the guy didn't like that I went in front of him with my car. So
Yeah.
and I had my mate with me. I didn't do anything reckless or anything like that, or cut right in front of him. So he decided, and I was just basically dropping off my mate. So I drove to his house. I dropped him off. He walked out, and then very shortly afterwards, that guy sort of like turns up and blocks the way out. Doesn't get out of his car or anything like that, but he just blocks the way with his
Ooh.
car. So I'm sitting in my car, I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to get out to fucking approach this guy because I ain't fucking don't know what he's got. He seems in a
Yeah.
pretty pissy mood. He doesn't get out of his car so we're there for about 20 minutes. It's really
So
weird. Like,
Did
yeah.
he just maintain eye contact or something?
Well, I assume he was. I was trying not to pay too much attention to him, even though it's clearly obvious he was there for me. He was a little pissy, a little
you can't
upset.
really avoid that one.
But yeah, no. And then after a while, he just pulled out and drove on his way. I guess that's how long it took him to calm down.
Under siege.
It wasn't like I did anything wrong.
What?
Just some people can't take it.
More work.
Or they're
They
just
just-
having
that's-
a weird bad day and you don't know about it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that, all that kind of stuff. I think it's just better to be safe, isn't it? Really, generally speaking. As much as someone like piss you off or whatever, you want to sort of like,
Fear
fuck
the
them up or whatever.
fearsome fury of the forest.
You don't know what you're dealing with at the end of the day.
Dear
No.
Richard, why you to this
And-
map
and
such
to be honest,
snow?
it's scarier. I'm not to sound pessimistic, but it is a little bit
Big map.
scarier than it's ever before. There's just so many people who feel like they have not a lot to lose, and they have very strong convictions about things,
Job
and
done.
a lot of guns.
Well, I do wonder that about America as well. Like, how safe do you feel, generally speaking? Does it? I guess it must depend on what state you're in and all that kind of stuff. I don't know too
It
much
definitely-
about America when it comes to that.
Yeah, no, when it comes to guns and stuff, I grew up in it was a much more aggressive town. There was guns, there were gunshots that just went off randomly in my town or city, so I eventually grew used to them. But even now, it's starting to feel just a little bit different. It used to be that, yeah, there were crazy criminals in the place I lived who had guns, but now it's like, I realize everyone has guns. My loved ones have guns. My grandpa has guns. My name it, they have a gun. And I feel like I'm the only person I know who doesn't have a gun. Hey there, Henri C. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, Britain have to deal with knives, but I think I'd rather take knives than guns. Except at close range, maybe.
That's true. A close range gunfight's a different thing. That's more of a John Wick theoretical situation, whereas a knife in close range, way more like.
What is it? What? All right. What is it?
Hey, Snarlmane.
Go then, sire.
Why have I heard that name before?
Snarf.
Is he- Wow. Snarf. Snarf.
I got knights coming. Do you want some? You've actually done a really good job there with the Blood Mage. You basically finished it.
Thank you.
Send
It might have taken an hour, but you know, progress is progress.
I'm still going to blame you, though, for the start we got off to. So anything I've done in this game is because of the start you gave us.
Hey, you know what? I think chat is obviously going to be with me. I hate to tell you, Witty, but I'm sure they have a deeper devotion to me than they do to you.
Happy
You reckon, dude?
That I will be in no way
About
disappointed in the
1/7 of how
outcome
long
that I
I've
discover
been
in a few
watching
seconds
you feels good, man.
when that's tested.
Thank you there, not yet pro for this
All
one.
right. Do we want to get those free extra caches? Or-
Cash!
Yeah, you
Give me
know.
the cash.
My name's Classy, with a little dick coming out of the L to fuck the ass up the A, girl. Classy.
Did you ever make records then?
No, as you can tell, a little bit of trouble with the words.
I thought you were having practice with some lyrics there. Well, those are lyrics you've invented in the past, and you know them off the top of your head because you sing them every morning.
I stand in front of the mirror and give myself that little every day to give myself the confidence to get through the day. No, I unfortunately stole that directly from South Park. I was on a little bit of a kick catching up the last 3 seasons that I hadn't cared about.
Oh man, that reminds me. Yeah, I can't remember which. That's the trick, isn't it? Trying to remember which season you even finished on. I'm trying to remember what season I finished on, and then yeah, I'd be happy to watch them go binge a couple more seasons. Just gotta work
They were
that out.
surprisingly good.
I've always thought they were good, though. I mean, I think some people like to sort of like say, "Oh, well, this is the end. South Park's no good anymore," and all that. I just always thought they were good. You know, they make you laugh. That's the main thing.
Yeah, some are better than others, but come on, for consistency's sake, South Park nailed it. They're up there with The Simpsons now. They're in season 21.
I think in some ways they've probably overtaken The Simpsons, don't you think?
Personally, yeah. I've had some friends who will get
As
very
much as I love The
aggressive.
Simpsons, I think they fell off a long time ago, really. I'd still probably watch it, but I haven't seen The Simpsons in fucking years.
Wait. Sir Zaltor, thank you for following. Welcome to the channel. Oh, there's the reveal. Okay, so that's where we gotta.
Potion of mana here, nothing too important. I'll let you know there's an important item down here. I assume... Does this continue items over?
It should with the code properly used. Even if it doesn't, at the end of the day, I think it'll.
Scroll.
Even on hard mode, we can probably handle this. Three upgrades. For a second, I looked at your knights and thought, wow, that's so weak, but I keep forgetting custom maps always have 6/6 or 8/8 upgrades, and it really warps my perception of how far into path people are.
Yeah, knights are not necessarily invincible, but 11 armor's quite a lot in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Rune of mana, nothing too important.
Why couldn't you
there.
have at least 1 unit die, Witty? This is a wasted rune now. Jesus.
I picked up a couple of riflemen at the bottom, so we're good. We're good versus those
Oh,
sky
yeah.
barges that keep attacking.
Retrieve it quickly.
I'm gonna drop Maul of Strength, so we can get healing words in the Scroll of Healing.
Yes, my lord.
What's down south?
I think you might have to... No, cool, you don't even... Oh, there's a periaptive vitality. That's pretty good.
And a
but-
tome. Alright, hopping in the boat, coming down.
1, 2... Oh, yeah, we got the observatory in the middle. I was thinking to myself, where's the other observatory? It's right smack in the middle.
Not very observant. Oh, Jesus. Where is it?
All right.
Sorry, everyone.
What? Off I
I
go
think he
then.
came from behind.
He came from behind. Actually, that's weird. How did you know exactly what my alarm said?
Your Honor,
It said, "Hey, Josh, it's time to come from behind."
for the king.
So, I mean, kudos to you,
Every morning.
mind reader. Witty's a
What
witch.
is it?
I'm not. My nose isn't that big.
That's it.
Hey, don't put yourself down.
I guess I can.
So, real quick, I want to shout out to a few people who were chatting for the first time on my stream. I got Jackolina and a couple other followers who just jumped in. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us today. I hope you're enjoying. Witty and I is playing the co-op campaign. Obviously, we're taking our time because we only have 2 campaigns left,
More
and then it's the
work.
end. It's the end, Witty.
It's the end of an era.
Your Honor,
Oh,
Ah,
I swear.
Tome of Intelligence down here. You're going to want to pick that up. That is
I do.
really good.
All right. Off I go then.
I love any permanent
What
buffs.
is it?
That's what makes the Durotar one. The Fountain of Durotar? The Fountain of Durotar. That's the name of it, isn't it?
oh, the Rexar one,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's because it's like so many tomes you can pick up in the Panda. I never did that properly though. I got quite far in the arena bit on that map, but I never completed it because I never pimped out the Panda enough. So I need to put more pimpage into the Panda.
What is it? Yes,
Did you ever do
Well,
that?
now I'm hoping that they decide to turn that into a co-op campaign.
Pimp
Because
the Panda.
I remember thinking that was so cool that there were so many little tiny optional objectives in that. It felt so much more explorative. It was the right move right before World of Warcraft. Put me in the right set of mindset.
Should
Did
I
you ever
be-
play Warcraft, Witty? I would have sworn.
Warcraft?
World of Warcraft.
Yes,
Oh yeah. Freaking religiously, practically. Oh man, we need wood. Shit, that sucks.
what is it?
It always comes down to
What?
wood
Off I
again.
go then.
Come on, we've been going for 50 minutes. You don't need any more wood. You're getting
Off I
very
go then.
demanding and princessy here. Come on.
Yes, me lord.
We got
Hour-long
this, and then we
session or refund?
What
can-
is it?
Oh, I forgot why you needed wood.
Yes, me
Because you're
lord.
repairing. Silly me.
It really goes for it quickly.
Done.
Do you think I should drop Scroll of the Beast or Scroll of Healing?
I sense
Or
it.
the Lion's Ring? Get rid of Strength. Or Agility. Yeah, this is... I don't need Agility. That's stupid. Parry Apt is way better.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna
Apt.
drop, that's fine. Don't worry about it too much. You can look at it this way: the Scroll of the Beast sells for more,
What is it?
so there's a
Perfect.
shop to sell to
Yes, me lord.
in a future level or something. You can just do it that way.
There's always better items. Stressing out on which item to keep on level 1 feels a little bit privileged.
More work.
I have to check my white privilege.
It's a myth.
It's a myth. Excuse me, Witty. It's pronounced muff. Okay,
Okay, sorry.
you're gonna use that kind of language on stream. At least pronounce it like a goddamn gentleman.
Righto. What is it?
Look how much wood this freaking observatory takes.
Yes, me lord.
It's a little crazy.
It's rigged.
All right.
It does seem a little bit silly that you have 5 peasants sitting there holding wood. I'm gonna go
No!
ahead.
Why are they going back?
I'm doing it. Hi, Redskin Menace. Thank you for
I
following.
go then.
Because you need wood,
Yes, me lord. Righto.
and somehow it's disappearing in chunks.
We can finish things up now.
Exactly.
But where's all those peasants gone? How am I supposed to repair
Going
now?
back to repair right now. See how quickly they tear through it now. Gosh, I wish we kept all these knights.
Yes, me lord.
Well, we'll be going mass tanks again next level.
Fine. Okay, that was final.
Command.
Hey, optional quest, main quest completed. We're gonna have to give these people voices eventually. You realize that, right?
Observatories have been repaired as you requested.
Okay. Well, they already talking.
Received
Yeah, who do you want? Oh, they're really quiet on mine. If they're loud on yours,
Oh, they always have been with Warcraft 3 campaigns. It's a shame you can't turn them up.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, my lord.
Oh, yes,
They
my
helped
lord.
us cross the lake. I assure you, they pose no threat to us or to.
They are inhuman and must
Inhuman
be crushed like
beasts.
any other enemy.
Ooh,
Be careful.
Witty, you goddamn foreigner.
I will
You
not
can't beat
tolerate
Gareth
treason
Frost.
in my
He's so
reign.
cool.
Now I
I mean,
Yes.
he's bad, but you know,
You
he's
will
cool.
remain here and
He's such a
I'm
douchebag.
TNT. I'm Dynamite.
But a lot of people
We've got
remember
the
him though.
synergy.
He was very impactful on the campaign.
Combat!
Thank you.
Yeah, I felt he
Nice
went out a
speed
little
run,
bit
bro.
weak. All right, so that's the end of this episode. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for a very long first episode for the re-entry into the co-op campaign. Please check out Witty Warcraft on his YouTube channel and most importantly his Twitch. He streams nearly every day except for Monday. Witty, do you want to say anything? Or
Yeah,
let
thank you
people
very
know what you
much,
do?
everyone, for enduring with us. Make sure to check out Azothan as well. Twitch.tv/Azothan. You are Azothan on Twitch.tv, aren't you? Whereas the YouTube is
I am.
Azothan. That's right.
And I stream now. I know.
I know,
it's so
crazy. Those followers.
weird. Maybe I should have been listening to you 5 years ago or 4 years ago at this
You
point.
gotta get. It's a slow build up. It always is, but you get more confident as it goes.
Better late than never. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next. Bye.
Bye. Hey, Witty here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to my channel for Warcraft 3 content every day. Just click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to be notified of the latest Warcraft 3 news. You can check out even more at wittywarcraft.com to stay in the loop. There's blogs, topics on interacting with me and others at my Twitch, forums, and more. Don't forget to follow me at Witty Warcraft on Twitter to get all the latest. And come watch me live almost every day at twitch.tv/witty. If you'd like to go that extra mile and support this channel and everything I do, then you are welcome to join me and become a Patreon at patreon.com/wittywarcraft. Thank you so much and take care. Bye bye.